Hi guys, welcome to Santuario Miami Yoga. I'm Jenny and I'll be your guide for this next little sequence that we have. All you're going to need is a mat, like always, a good place to practice, and absolutely nothing else, okay? So if you enjoy the video, if you're having a good time with me, please don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to the page, and of course, if you're in the Miami area, come and take class with us at the studio. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to actually start on all fours in cat-cow. We're going to kind of jump right into things. So get yourself in a little tabletop position, and we're going to start spreading the fingers out really nice and wide. We'll stack the shoulders right over the wrists, and we'll have the knees about hip-width distance apart. You can tuck or untuck the toes. That's always kind of your choice, however you feel comfortable. 3 rounds of cat-cow. We're going to inhale, drop the belly. Feel like your shoulder blades are kissing as you broaden the collarbone, arching the spine, and as you exhale, round, tapping the navel to the spine, tucking the tailbone, crown of the head drops down to the floor. Inhale, drop the belly, flip the tail, send everything forward and up. And then as you exhale, really pull that abdominal wall in. Round as much as you can, especially between the space between the shoulder blades. It feels so good. Inhale, drop the belly, flip the tail. Exhale, round and release. Perfect. We're going to come into a neutral spine, and we're going to step it right into a plank position. So you can, adjust your hands and your feet as you need to, and you can keep your feet about hip-width distance for this as well. But same exact form here. Shoulders are stacked right over wrists. Belly is nice and firm. We want to connect first with the nice strength that we have running through the body. So crown of the head to the heels of the feet. We're going to go plank pose. Shift forward an inch. Chaturanga, your half push-up. Plank pose. Child's pose. And then we're going to flow like that, moving with the breath. So we're going to inhale forward to plank, exhale to chaturanga, inhale to plank, exhale to child's pose. Couple more times. Inhale forward to plank, exhale chaturanga, inhale plank, exhale child's pose. 3 more times. Inhale forward plank, exhale chaturanga, inhale plank, exhale child's pose. Good. Inhale forward plank, exhale chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down, child's pose. Last one. Here we go. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, top of the plank. Exhale, child's pose. Perfect. We're going to come right back into our plank position, and we're going to crawl our hands all the way back towards our feet. And we'll take a little ragdoll here. So grab your opposite elbows. Let gravity kind of help you and be your best friend. Let everything hang heavy. Relax your neck. Start to, loosen up on the face. Maybe a little side-to-side action if that feels good. And we'll take a nice forward fold here. Just to give the wrists a little stretch, let's slip the hands underneath the feet. Ideally, your toes are going to line up with the crease of the wrist. If that's not happening, it's not a big deal. Okay, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, start to bend the elbows out to the side, reaching the crown of the head towards the floor. And the sits bones, the tush, up towards the ceiling. If we have our legs nice and straight, find a little activation through the quadriceps to help you open through the back of the hamstrings, and lead with the chest. One more full breath here. Hey, Charlie. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Very slowly release the grip. I want you to bend generously into the knees, pull the tummy in, and round up one little vertebrae at a time. Again, opening through the back. And then as you get to the top, energize through your arms. Reach your arms all the way up. Let's find a little pistol grip at the top. So release the index fingers, cross the thumbs. Inhale to lengthen, and on the exhale, take a dip towards the right. So reaching through your fingertips, hugging the tummy in, and pushing the hips to the left. Good. Inhale back to the center, and then exhale over towards the left. Same idea. Feel this beautiful stretch through the right side of the body, reaching through the fingertips. And then inhale back to the center, and exhale, swan dive it all the way forward. And we'll run through the whole thing again. So let's inhale, lengthen the spine, crawl it out to a plank position. Meet me in plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, top of the plank. Exhale to child's pose. Moving with the breath. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. 4 more times. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. Nice. Inhale, forward. Good way to get the blood pumping. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. Last one. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank, hold. Freeze it here with me. Breathe for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, I want you to step your 2 feet forward right between your hands. So this time, the toes and heels are going to touch each other. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, and we're going to exhale, take a nice forward fold, wrapping the hands behind the legs, maybe palms towards the back of the calves, or maybe even, if you can, scoop your feet up from underneath, getting a deeper grip. But same idea, relax the crown of the head towards the floor, sits bones towards the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears, and lengthen. Take a full cycle of breath. Inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. Release your grip. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep the length, and then hinge all the way up from the hips. Beautiful. So that core's all fired up. You're ready for it. Interlace the fingers. Release the index. Inhale, take a big stretch up. Exhale towards the right, pushing the hips towards the left, reaching through the fingertips. Good. Inhaling back to the center, and exhaling over towards the left. So just finding that nice stretch left side body. Perfect. Inhale back to the center, and then exhale, swan dive it all the way forward, just like we did in the beginning. Fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sit your butt into the deepest chair that you can find. I want you to hug your inner thighs, hug your knees. Weight is back into the heels. Belly is super strong. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Reach out through your fingertips, and the tendency is always in the back, like that's that dip in the back. So hug the lower part of the tummy in and find a nice neutral place for the spine. Perfect. We're going to shift now to the very tippy tops of the toes. And what I want you to do is pretend like I tied your ankles up with a little rope. Okay, so kiss those ankles, hug them in. I know that's tough. We're going to lower everything parallel to the floor. So thighs parallel to the floor, chest parallel to the floor, and then we're going to bind the hands behind the back. So reach back, interlace the fingers, and as you inhale, broaden through the collarbone, pressing the palms together the best you can. It doesn't have to happen that way. Lift the heels a little bit higher. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, forward fold over the legs, keeping the bind in the hands, relaxing the crown of the head down to the floor, and very, very gently pulling the hands away from you. Breathing nice and easy for 3. Good. For 2, you can always have a slight bend in the knee. And for 1, we're going to roll through that same thing again. So release the hands down. Take an inhale, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, sit your butt way into the chair. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, finding your nice strong chair pose. Good. And then shifting to the toes, all the way up to the toes. Lowering everything parallel with the floor. Remember that rope around the ankles. Hug the knees, the inner thighs. Reach the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, broaden through the collarbone. And exhale, fold right over those legs. Woo! Breathe. Crown of the head down to the ground. Take a full cycle of breath. And exhale, release the arms down by your side. Perfect. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. We're going to pull the tummy in, and we're going to hinge all the way up, reaching through the fingertips. And we're going to take the right arm underneath the left arm for eagle pose. So I'm going to turn and face you for this. Your hands are going to tend to want to go to the left. Center them right in the midline of your face. Pull the elbows down, suck the tummy in, and sit down nice and low. And then you're going to bring your right leg up and over your left leg. And, maybe you're going to hook your foot. Maybe you're going to look a little bit more like this. That's fine. Either way, compress the legs. Get really strong through your legs, really strong through your tummy, and sit as low as you can with your eyes on one spot. Don't even blink. Take a full cycle of breath. Release. Beautiful. Stay where you are. We're going to lift the elbows to about shoulder level. If you feel like your balance is good, maybe shift your gaze up towards the fingertips and test it out. Good. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, we're going to get really, really low. So we're going to pull the elbows down. We're going to sit our tush. Think where you were in chair pose. And we're going to think almost like knees to armpits, maybe forearms about parallel to the floor. Slight tuck of the chin. Again, gaze is in one spot. Hold it. Compress the legs. Belly is in. 3, 2. We're going to move smoothly to a warrior 3. So start to lift the chest, untwist the legs, and send your right leg back into a warrior 3. And move with control. Point your toes down towards the ground, squaring off your hips. Belly is nice and firm. And then finally release those eagle arms and take a standing split. Keeping the hips as squared off as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? You're here to practice, so do the best that you can. But reach out through your ball of your foot, spread your toes out really, really wide, and get equal energy running through your legs. Let the crown of the head drop down towards the ground. Take a full cycle of breath. And then very, very slowly, we're going to let your right leg lower down as far as you possibly can back there. We're going to drop the knee to the floor. We're going to come to the fingertips. Inhale, broadening the collarbone, sending everything forward. And as you exhale, sit down into a little half split. So when you get to your half split, feel your left hip, your left leg drawing back. Flex your left foot, take an inhale for length, and as you exhale, forward fold leading with the chest. Lot of lifting of the pelvic floor, lot of the chest leading the way rather than rounding over like this, right? So if you're up higher, that's fine, but keep that nice straight spine the best that you can. Breathe here for 3. For 2. And on 1, we're going to hinge right back into that front leg. We're going to lift our back leg, and then we're going to pop it in for a little pyramid pose. So our 2 heels are aligned. We're going to square off the hips the best that we can. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as we exhale, take a nice forward fold again. And think forehead to shin. Ground down through your heels. Lift a bit on the lower part of the belly. So firm it a little so you have some space to lengthen the spine. And keep thinking forehead towards the shin. Even if you're really far away, right? We can bend the front leg even. A lot of times I have to bend the front leg, especially if you've been doing other workouts, right? Our hamstrings are a little tight. 3, 2, and on 1, step your right foot forward to meet your left foot and take a forward fold at the top of the mat, like you're going to reset it. Good. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up, and let's head to the left side. So take the left arm underneath the right. Find your eagle arms. Get the palms as close together as you can, but if that's not happening, just get your wrist as straight as you can. Elbows are down for now, belly is in. Let's sit down nice and low in that little chair pose that we love so much. Let's bring the left leg up and over the right leg. Twist up the foot the best that you can. Woo! And sometimes we lose the balance, right? So kind of find that stability. Eyes on one spot. Belly is in. Breath is nice and easy. Let's hold here. Same like in chair pose. Hug the lower part of the tummy in so that you don't feel like everything is sticking back or you're tucking too much, right? You want to think neutral spine, but long side body. One more cycle of breath. Inhale. Good. Stay where you are. Let's lift those elbows to about shoulder level. And then if you're ready, you'll take that little gaze towards your fingertips. Don't worry if you're not ready. Just keep looking forward. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, let's sit down as low as we possibly can. So really folding ourselves down. Think knees into armpits, maybe forearms about parallel to the floor, slight tuck of the chin. Breath, of course, is nice and easy. Perfect. From here, we hit up warrior 3. So lifting the chest a little bit as you untwist the legs. Come right into warrior 3 with control, like a little ninja, like a warrior. Pressing your left heel towards the back, toes towards the floor. Breathe, squaring off the hips. And then releasing those eagle arms to the ground and taking a little standing split. Relaxing the crown of the head down and trying your best for today, right? To square off the hips the best that you can. And again, you're practicing. That's why you're on your mat. It's not supposed to be perfect. Every day's a little bit different. And so just breathe and move with what feels right today. But relax the crown of the head down, relax the neck, relax the face. Good. As slowly as you possibly can, we're going to float that left foot all the way back. We're going to lower the knee down to the ground. Take an inhale, lengthen, broaden through the collarbone, send everything forward. And as you exhale, sit it back into a nice half split, shifting that right hip back, right? So feeling almost like you want your whole right leg to shift back into that hip socket. Inhale for length, exhale, forward fold. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Leaning back into that front leg, lifting that back leg, and hitting up a little pyramid pose. So heels are aligned, back foot's out slightly. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, take a forward fold. And if you have trouble with balance, rather than your heels lining up perfectly, you can think of more like a railroad track or like hips width distance, and that will help quite a bit with balance. Either way, drive the heels down towards the ground to help you. Squaring off the hips, kind of shifting the weight forward into the front leg typically helps. Breathe. 3, 2, and on 1, step your left foot forward to meet your right foot and take a nice forward fold to reset. Nice. Let's sweep those arms all the way up, nice and big, reaching out through the fingertips, praying the hands when you get to the top. Exhale, bring the hands right down to the heart center, and then release the arms down by your side and stand nice and tall. Good. Let's sweep the arms all the way up. Big inhale. As you exhale, take a dive forward, right down the center. Good. Inhale, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, stepping your left foot far back. We're going to come to warrior 2. So rotate that heel towards the ground. Inhale, rise to a warrior 2. And things that we're looking for. Right knee over the ankle. Back leg nice and strong. And think crown of my head stacked right over my tailbone, right? The tendency sometimes is that we're leaning forward. So think about this beautiful straight spine. Lower belly is tucked in nice and strong. Triceps are turned on. Fingertips are nice and sharp. We're going to take 2 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Settle into it. Inhale. Exhaling, settling a little bit deeper. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to raise the arms all the way up as we straighten the front leg. We're going to rotate the right toes in, and then I want you to actually keep your toes where they are, but rotate your heels in, and we're going to sit into a really low goddess squat. And I know I have my back towards you, but I have this gorgeous top on that you can check out, these beautiful lace. So sit as low as you can. Try your best. I'm constantly harping on you guys. Toes and knees to track the same direction. So often in class, I see people with like their toes way out and see how all this funkiness is happening with the knees. So toes and knees are tracking the same direction. Check that out. And then reach through your fingertips, which I know is not easy, but shoulders are down, right? Feel like your shoulder blades are moving down your back. Breathe here for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep reaching. 6, lower belly firms a little more. 5, maybe a little sway. Keep it going. 4, 3, 2, on 1, straighten the legs. Keep your heels where they are. Rotate the toes in and take a swan dive all the way forward, placing your fingertips right down to the ground. Good. So I know that maybe this is a shorter stance than what we normally take for our little separate leg stretch. So if it feels impossible, you always have the option to open the legs a little more. But what I'd prefer you to do for today is just bend the knees a little bit more. Everybody who has the legs nice and straight, start to walk the hands through the feet just a little bit, lengthening the crown of the head down towards the ground, activating the quadriceps to give those hamstrings that little hello, I gotcha, and they'll start to open up. The weight's going to be forward to the ball of the foot. Face is relaxed, neck is relaxed. You can shake it out a little bit if you need to. Perfect. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. I want you to keep your toes where they are. Rotate those heels back in. Sitting back into like a sumo squat this time. Toes and knees track the same direction. Reach the arms up and find that hold again. For 10, 9, 8, 7, woo, it burns. 6, 5, 4, press from the heels. 3, 2, on 1, press all the way up to standing. Perfect. I want you to rotate everything towards the front of the mat. Take a little reach towards the ceiling, reach towards the front of the room. Place your 2 hands right down on the floor, and then inhale, left foot steps forward. Exhale, take a forward fold at the front of your mat. Very good. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, send that right leg nice and far back. Rotating the heel down, and then inhaling to your warrior 2. And so again, your right and left sides are not always the same. They're never the same. Sometimes we have a leg that's stronger, a side that's stronger, a side that's more flexible. So just kind of settle into this warrior pose. Keep your 2 legs working equally the same. That's really important. Don't just lean in on your front leg, but use this back quad, this back glute. Reach out through your fingertips. Give me a little tricep action. Stack the head right over the tailbone. So spine is nice and long. Energy is running up and down that spine. Belly is in. 2 deep breaths. Inhale. Again, inhale. Good. We're going to inhale. Reach the arms all the way up as we straighten the front leg. Rotate your toes in and then keep your toes where they are. Send your heels in and sit down low into this little goddess squat. And now you have a beautiful shot of the front of my shirt. So sitting down nice and low. Check again. Toes and knees track the same direction. I know I sound like a broken record, but every day that I teach, I see people make that mistake. And so I'm just going to continue to remind you until it becomes second nature. Belly is in. Spine is long, shoulders are relaxed. Again, don't be afraid to shift around, move around. Find some fluency, right? Find a little fluency. Oy, like we're taking a language class. Hold it here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and on 1, straighten the legs. Keep the heels where you have them. Rotate the toes in and take that little swan dive forward. Good. If the last round felt easy, I want you to hook your big toes with your middle and index fingers. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take your forward fold. If the last round seemed hard, if the knees were bent, then repeat exactly what you did on the other side. Either way, you're breathing, right? Once the breathing stops, the game is over. Keep reaching the crown of the head down. Keep activating through the lower belly, lifting a bit on the pelvic floor. Breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. And on 1, you're going to release your grip. You're going to keep your toes where they are. Rotate the heels in and sit into it's like a shorter goddess or like a sumo squat, reaching your arms all the way up. And I know it feels a little harder in this position, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. So we're working nice and hard. We're breathing nice and easy. Lower belly is in. Breath is easy for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. I want you to straighten the legs. Rotate everything back towards the front of the mat. Hug the inner thighs as you reach the arms all the way up. And then reach, getting a little bit of core work. Placing the hands down on the floor. Inhale, step the right foot back to meet the left foot. Exhale, take a forward fold. And then inhale, sweep those arms all the way up nice and big, finding those prayered hands at the top. Exhaling, bringing the hands to the heart center. Releasing the arms down and taking a full cycle of breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. Good. We're going to go for a little half lotus. You're always welcome to do tree pose. I'm going to turn and face you guys so you can see me. So tree pose, you're going to take your right foot and put it on the inside of your calf or the inside of your upper thigh or your inner thigh. Avoid the kneecap, okay? If you have bad knees, feel free to do that. If not, I'm going to guide you through half lotus. So we're going to ground down through our left leg. We're going to stand up nice and tall. Lift your right leg up, and it's as if you were going to do a bicep curl with the foot. You're going to hold it from underneath, and we're going to lift it up as much as we can, bringing the heel right to the center line of the body. And we're balancing, so focus your eyes on one spot. Don't force your knee to do anything it doesn't want to. Think about this being a hip opener because that's what it is, right? So allow the knee to come down gently. Maybe a little squeeze to the right glutes. Squaring off the hips, squaring off the shoulders. Belly is firm. Right hand to the heart center. Left hand if you can. Breathe. Belly is active. For 3. For 2. And for 1, perfect. We're going to hook the right foot again from underneath, and we're going to release it with control. Feet together, arms down by your side. Nice. Okay, take a sec. Find your right leg, ground down into the floor. Feel really steady, really sturdy, and then lift the left foot up. Hold it from underneath with the right hand. Do that little bicep curl, lifting it up. Heel to the midline of the body, or as close to that as you can get. This is a great example of right and left's not feeling the same, right? My right side's super easy. My left side, it's not always like with the program. So take it nice and easy. Hips aligned, shoulders aligned, belly nice and firm. And then set your gaze on one spot. Don't even blink. And when you're ready, left hand up And if you're ready, right hand up. You can always continue to hold the foot. Breathe easy, breathe slow. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Feel the crown of your head growing towards the ceiling. Firm your right leg. 3, 2, and then slowly release it on 1. Perfect. Feet together, arms down by your side. You got this. Take a big inhale. Sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, take a dive forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. On the exhale, plug your hands to the ground and step back into a plank position. We're going to roll through a couple baby cobras. We're going to start with a nice strong plank, which we know already. Shoulders are right over wrist. Feet, we're going to bring them all the way together. So if they're apart, I want you to scooch those babies together. Think of that rope that I was talking about when we did chair, and rope up those ankles for me again. Breathe here for 3. For 2. On 1, I want you to shift forward, lower all the way down to your tummy. Keep your hands where they are, but untuck those toes. As you inhale, come to baby cobra, really contracting the lower back, the butt, and the legs. As you exhale, bring the forehead down to the ground. And we're going to move as fluid as we can. Hi, Lolita. Inhale, she came to support. Up to baby cobra. Exhale, take that little fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, bring it all the way down, as if you're kind of moving with the waves of the ocean. Last one, best one. Inhale all the way up to the top of the baby cobra. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Listen carefully. Tuck your toes. Pull your tummy in. Inhale to the top of your plank. Exhale to child's pose. So sitting back and just releasing your back, maybe forehead to the ground. You can also kind of rock your head back and forth if you're ever feeling a little extra stressed, which we know sometimes we are. The whole idea is, as you move through your practice, every minute of your practice is for you to kind of re-energize and release, right? So pulling in the energy that you want, the breath that you want, the lightness and space that you want, and releasing the stuff that's kind of unneeded or unnecessary. And it should be something that you do throughout your whole practice. Sometimes we only talk about it in the beginning, but really let that happen the whole time you're on your mat. Good. Let's walk our hands back towards our knees, stacking our vertebrae, sitting up nice and tall. And we'll go for a nice camel pose. Don't feel like you have to take it all the way. Just go step by step, okay? And then you pause wherever you feel like that's enough for you today. We're going to stand up on the knees, taking the knees about hips width distance. Take the hands to the back of the hips. Fingers down, thumbs out. We're going to take a deep breath, press the hips forward, and lift the chest up. And the easiest way to do that is kind of move the elbows closer together. Relax your head all the way back. Let it hang like a little bowling ball, and go back about halfway. If this feels great, great might not be the right word, but if it feels okay, reach back and hook your heels. Continue to do the same thing you did in the setup. So inhale, hips forward, rib cage lifts. Relax the neck and the face. Take a big cycle of breath. Exhale it out. One more time, inhale. As you exhale, hands back to hips, chest up, spine straight. Sit back on the heels of your feet, hands on your knees, and enjoy the little yoga buzz you got, right? So we get a little dizzy, a little funky, sometimes even a little nauseous. And so just allow those sensations to kind of pass through you. Just as quickly as they came, they're going to pass just as quickly, okay? Try not to react to anything. Just allow yourself to breathe through it. That's what you're practicing doing. Very good. One more deep breath. Exhale, release. Beautiful. I want you to slide your feet out from underneath your booty. We're going to send the legs forward. Move yourself back towards the front of your mat. And we're going to come down nice and strong with a little Navasana. So starting with the shins about parallel to the floor, hugging the knees, hugging the inner thighs, reaching the arms forward, reaching the center of the chest up. And then if it feels good to you, straighten the legs. And again, feels good is probably not the right word to use, but I want you to just kind of be here with me, okay? Don't overanalyze. Don't get stuck in your head. Let's just breathe together for 5. For 4. 3, reach through your toes, reach through your fingertips. 2, lower down about halfway. So halfway between your low hollow hold and your full expression of the posture. Breathe here for 3. For 2. Find your low hollow hold on 1. So bottom rib taps down to the ground.
Lower back imprints on the floor. Keep sending that energy out through your toes and your fingertips. You're shaking, you're shimmying. Things are looking good. Breathe 3, 2, and on 1, legs to the sky, head to the floor, palms to the ground. Find this little L shape with the legs. This is an awesome, awesome shape to take with your body. You can put your butt up against a wall and leave your legs straight up and down just to help out with circulation, also to calm things down. Okay, so you're more than welcome to stay right here. But if you want to go for a shoulder stand with me, we're going to lift our booties up, supporting ourselves on the small of our backs, scooching our elbows a little closer together. Continue to look down the center line of your body. Once you get here, there's no looking side to side. So if you want to watch me get in it, then you can get in it yourself. You're going to breathe as you extend your feet all the way up towards the ceiling. And I want you to pay close attention to the back of your neck, right? We want to feel nice and open back there. So think of yourself being on your shoulders rather than the back of your neck. You should feel some compression in the front, which is great. We're getting a little stimulation to the thyroid gland, so good stuff happening there. Couple rounds of deep breath. I want you to feel the energy of the posture, starting at your ribs and lifting, lifting, lifting over the hips, squeezing the tush, the thighs, running over the knees, the shins, and right out the toes. Take 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale. Again, inhale. As you exhale, very gently take it to a plow pose. So you're going to let your feet touch down behind your head. And then if you get there and that feels okay, you can release your hands down to the ground. You don't have to do that. Again, each day is different. So maybe today is a day that you feel like holding on to the back. That's completely fine. Either way, don't move the neck. Take some deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. And then palms to the ground. Lower yourself down one little teeny tiny vertebrae at a time. You can always slip your hands underneath your butt if you need a little bit of extra support, but I want you to lengthen your legs. So same as we did in that L shape, lengthen the legs and strengthen everything. Imprint the lower back down on the floor as you lower your legs all the way down to the ground. And then when you get there, release and relax. Oh, let all the blood recirculate through the spine. Let the floor support you here. Take a really beautiful deep breath in by your nose and out by your mouth. Good. We're going to finish with a little wind removing pose. So really, really great for your digestive system. We're going to lift the right knee up. I want you to interlace your 10 fingers. So get a pretty good grip rocking. And then we're going to pull that right knee out and down towards the shoulder. You don't want to pull straight down into the rib cage. It's like you're trying to avoid your rib cage. Keep extension through your left leg. It doesn't have to be like a super strong left leg. Just find a little energy there. Back of the neck is flat to the ground. Look down the center line of your body. Like rock the best double chin you've ever rocked your whole entire life. Here it is. It's your time to just whip it out and show it off. Breathe there. Big guns are working to give you a little extra massage on that right side. Digestive system, ascending colon. Breathe for 3. Give me a little bit more for 2. And on 1, slowly release that right leg, getting a flood of fresh blood running down that right side of your body. Let's do left side. Inhale, left leg lifts, interlace the 10 fingers, find a nice grip, and then pull that knee. Remember, out and down. So not straight into the ribs, but out and down, avoiding the rib cage. Look down the center line of your body. Give a little energy to the right leg, and then the right shoulder. If you notice it peeling off the ground, let's lower that sucker back down. Good. Biceps are working. Breath is nice and easy. Little massage on the descending colon. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, pull in a little bit more and hold 3. Hold 2. And on 1, release that left leg all the way down. Nice. On the next inhale, both legs are going to lift up. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Try if you can to keep your feet touching side by side, maybe even your knees touching side by side. I know that this is not very comfortable, but remind yourself that, you're pretty uncomfortable if you're doing things right? Breathe. Think about your spine growing a little bit longer, back of the neck flat. You still have your double chin on. Breathe for 3.
For 2. And on 1, we're going to keep the knees drawn in. We're going to allow our right arm to tee out to the side as we let our knees fall towards the left, our left knees towards the left. Look all the way towards your right hand and then close your eyes. Allow yourself to have this really gentle spine twist. Also really great for the digestive system. If you're ever traveling, or these are positions that you don't have to do warmed up, right? You can do them at any time. You can wake up in the morning, give yourself a little massage down there, maybe before you go to bed at night. Good. Roll it back through the center. If you want to give yourself a little hug, feel free. And then left hand to the left. Let the right hand help the knees over towards the right. Sometimes we hear a little crack, a little noise through the spine. The other day in class, one of the teachers said, crack is whack unless you're in yoga. We all had a pretty nice laugh there. So let that happen. Let those spaces open up. Close your eyes. Not sure if that was appropriate to say, but it's done. Good. Bring everything back towards the center, hugging the knees into the chest. We're going to drop the feet down to the ground. I want you to let the soles of your feet come together and let your knees just fall heavy out to the sides. If this is incredibly uncomfortable, again, I want to remind you that it might be, right? But we don't just shy away from things that are uncomfortable immediately. We take a few breaths. We see if we can make it a little bit more comfortable. Palms are going to face up. I like to take my arms out nice and wide, tucking the shoulder blades under a little bit so there's a slight elevation to the heart. I want you to close your eyes. And we're going to do 3 deep breaths here together. Really, really big. In by the nose and out by the mouth. Eyes are closed. Take an inhale. Let it out by the mouth. Take an inhale, energizing, filling yourself up with light, with energy, with space, with everything you need for the rest of your day or night. And then opening the mouth and sighing out all of the unnecessary stuff that's up and in there. We'll throw out to Penny there. So let it out, let it go. Again, inhale, filling yourself up as much as you possibly can, filling your belly, filling your chest, filling everything with all of that wonderful space. And as you exhale, release and relax. Good. You can stay exactly like this if it feels good. And if not, you can simply release your legs straight into your final Savasana. Adjust yourself and wiggle around now if you need to, if you've changed shapes, until you're in a space that you can lie completely still. Grant yourself permission to stay here for at least 5 minutes. Okay, this is probably the best part of the day if you allow it to be. Don't feel rushed. Let everything else be really unimportant because it is. Take your time and enjoy. Thank you so, so much for joining me in another class. Again, I hope to see you soon on the mat. Take it easy. Namaste.